Shurco is committed to outstanding performance, and we want to make sure that your systems are operated properly so they can perform efficiently while keeping you safe. In this comprehensive video, we will be providing an overview of the original ShurLok roll tarp with operation and general maintenance information for this specific tarping system. Be sure to read the owner's manual before installing or operating the ShurLok system. Our website at shur-co.com has various resources available for each product that we offer, including owner's manuals, instructions, and warranty information. Once again, you can find this at shur-co.com. First things first, safety. These guidelines are put in place to keep you safe while operating the ShurLok system. Keep body and clothing clear of moving parts and hold the crank firmly with both hands. All safety decals should be visible. First, grasping crank firmly in both hands, release the crank from the crank retainer. Turn the crank clockwise until the tarp is unrolled over the edge of the trailer. Place the crank back into its original position in the crank retainer. Be sure to open your tarp before unloading. If you don't open the tarp when unloading the box, it will create a vacuum. Then the pressure of the tarp will be placed on each bow, causing it to stretch, which could also damage your system. Grasping the crank firmly in both hands, release the crank from the crank retainer and turn it counterclockwise until the tarp is unrolled over the edge of the trailer. Continue cranking to roll the tarp under the latch plate. Bring the crank arm into crank position and swing it up to place into the crank retainer. For safety precautions, make sure your load isn't heaped. If you have excessively heaped loads, the tarp will shorten over the end cap, making it difficult to tighten under the latch plate. A loose tarp can get wind whipped and over time will tear, causing an unsafe environment. Keeping your tarp system closed when traveling is very important for not only your tarp, but the safety of you and your surroundings. Cleaning the cable return will prolong the life and performance of this system. Once removing the cable return from the trailer, use silicone spray to wash the bearings to prevent the cable from getting sticky. Once clean, reinstall. This takes about 10 minutes. Maintenance should take place every 1 to 2 months. Be sure to adjust the stretch cord tension when it becomes frayed. For proper use, there should be enough tension to almost lift the roll return. It's important to monitor tarp tension daily in order to prevent premature tarp wear. Hold the crank firmly with both hands and roll tarp closed under latch plate. Bring the crank handle down perpendicular to the ground. Then tighten the tarp by lifting the crank handle up into the crank retainer. Next, you'll want to check the tarp tension. It should take 40 to 60 pounds of pressure to force the crank handle into the retainer. If tension adjustment is required, remove the U-joint from the spline shaft. Rotate the U-joint one tooth and replace it back onto the spline shaft. Continue to recheck tarp tension and adjusting the tarp until the correct tension is achieved. Once adjusted to the correct tension, secure U-joint to spline to shaft with wire lock pin. Best performance occurs when the tarp overlaps the front end cap by approximately 8 inches. It's also important to recognize the purpose of the ridge straps, which are used to help support the tarp from falling off the end caps and dropping into the trailer between the bows. They also help reduce the amount of water or debris that settles on the tarps, which could create premature tarp wear. Proper tension is made by adjusting the ratchet to remove any slack in the strap. Be sure to take time every 2 to 4 weeks to inspect your tarp for any tears, cuts, or worn areas. If you notice an area is becoming worn, Shurco has tarp repair kits available. You'll also want to inspect all hardware and tighten any loose fasteners. Still have questions? We're here to help. Visit our website at shurco.com for more information. Thanks for watching. And remember, when you need to be sure, Make it Shurco.